pro-abortion.
Abortion is right or wrong?
I think it's very right. I'm absolutely pro-abortion. This world is already overpopulated. I think there are some mothers out there who don't know how to raise their kids right, and we need a positive future ahead of us. And
what is abortion? What does abortion do?
To me, it's called when you're in a fetal or some embryo, like little cell. You don't have a brain, and I think you're okay. So long as you can take the pill. After then, when you have to get blendered up and shit,
The pill is
that's a
taken.
different story.
The pill is taken from 5 to 8 weeks. This is
That's cool. That's fine. I'm down with that.
this is an abortion in the first trimester. They don't do abortions before
That's
this.
fine. It doesn't really have a developed brain.
That's fine.
Yeah.
50 million abortions have taken place in the United States since 1973. That's one every 24 seconds, or over 3,600 every day. Abortion is the #1 killer in the United States, above heart disease, cancer, and everything else that kills us. At the current rate, 1 in 3 women will have an abortion by age 45. And of the women who have abortions, half of them have had more than one. Of the abortions that take place each year, less than 1% is because of rape and incest combined. 7 out of 10 of the women having abortions claim to be Christian at the time of abortion. Over half of the women having abortions are under 25, and almost 20% are teenagers. 40% of the minors who have abortions do not tell their parents they have had them. Regardless of race, 100% of abortions end the life, whether it's white, black, Hispanic, or any other race. 31% of all abortions are paid for with your tax dollars. In fact, 1/3 of Planned Parenthood's funding came from government grants from your taxes. Want to know how your money was used? The ratio of abortions to adoptions was 62 to 1, and they weren't the only ones using your money to pay for abortions. Most insurance companies also cover part of the cost. The majority of these abortions are surgical procedures. Abortion is devastating the African American community as a whole. 1 in every 5 U.S. pregnancies are now ending in abortion.
But a partial birth abortion is performed when the baby is too far developed in order to either be sucked out with the suction curette or to be able to be dismembered and brought out piece by piece with this forceps. A partial birth abortion, or a D and X, is very similar to what it says. We're going to deliver the majority of the baby, and then before the baby's head is delivered, then we're going to actually kill the baby. Now, before the procedure would start, the cervix would have already received those things we talked about called laminaria. Those are the sticks that go into the cervix that would then swell overnight and would open up the cervix because we have a lot more baby to deliver. And this can be performed anywhere up to term because remember, Doe versus Bolton defined mother's health as physical, emotional, psychological, familial, and age. So as long as the physician under those definitions says mother's health is in jeopardy, this procedure can be performed. Now, using an ultrasound to guide, the cervix will be dilated, the speculum would already be in place to open things up, and then using the ultrasound as a guide, this instrument would be placed in the inside through the cervix and would then grab one of the baby's feet. Once that foot is grabbed with that tenaculum, that baby's foot is then brought to the outside. Once that first foot is brought to the outside, then the second foot would be brought to the outside. And then with traction with a baby that is still alive, the baby would then have both legs delivered would then have its belly delivered. Once the baby is brought further down, first one arm would be delivered. That would be rotated this way. And then the baby is rotated around the other way, and the second arm is delivered. Now the entire baby from the neck down is now alive and in the abortionist's hands that's performing this procedure. The entire baby, including the head, are already out of the womb, beyond the cervix, and the only thing that's left on the inside of the mother is the baby's head, but that's only just inside the vagina. And baby is moving, baby is alive, baby is intact up to this point. But if the baby then delivers, it's then considered a live birth, and the baby would have to go to the nursery. But before that's allowed to happen, this is when the abortion would actually kill the baby. And the way they do that is, if you remember from biology class, there's that connection between the brain and the spinal cord, and that opening at the base of the skull is called the foramen magnum. And that small hole with the baby moving and alive in one hand, a pair of scissors, these are called Metzenbaum scissors. These scissors are then placed into the base of the skull, and these scissors are then placed in through that foramen magnum up into the baby's brain and skull cavity. The scissors are then opened up, and then if that hasn't killed the baby, then one of the suction curettes is then placed through that same hole up into the baby's skull and brain. The suction is applied, and just how you saw how powerful that suction machine is, if it can crush the steel can, then it can definitely kill the baby there on the inside. Once the baby has then been killed and is no longer alive, then the remainder, which is just the baby's head, is then delivered, and the procedure is then completed.